Your Honor. Bestie. Come on. Your Honor, that's Cap.
Your Honor, it was for the vine.
Oh my god. Every time I hear about vine, I feel older.
Your Honor, my client pleads 1 count of Oopsie Daisy and a felony fucky wucky.
Fucky wucky.
Oh my god.
I like how you that's not even a bit. I crafted that one for the dome and you still read my mind.
Yeah.
Read my mind.
Because there's not much in my mind, so I can just reach into others.
No.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah. There's not a whole lot going on up here either. I know it seems like it, but
you are literally the smartest one in the group. Do not even.
Statistically,
this man talked about like how much science he's doing for like 3 fucking minutes. Oh, there's not much going on in there. Come on. Come on.
Look. I'm so tired. Hey, look. All I'm saying is that if I get caught, I got a great lawyer.
God. Honestly, I do know great lawyers that would be able to get you off, like...
Without a felony?
Oh, we're still talking about the criminal stuff. Yeah, get you off like that, too.
Oh my god.
I mean...
Nuh-uh.
That's just the imposters in your voice, or your head.
As your counsel, I advise you, nuh-uh.
No.
Yeah. Your Honor, my client pleads nuh-uh.
Your Honor, you weren't even there, bestie.
Your Honor, that's gaslighting.
Your Honor, you're girl-bossing a little too close to the sun. So anyway, King Henry.
Current time, yes. Speaking of King Henry, current time, it is... Oh my god. He's not a twink, he's just horribly emaciated.
Yeah,
I mean, what is a twink? Yeah, what is a twink? A horribly emaciated person.
Okay. We are not bringing philosophy into this.
That's philosophy? Okay.
Yeah,
current time.
Yeah, it's philosophy.
Night, day 37 of 1379. Last game, you guys talked about the Forgeborn more, and after having a confrontation with Henry's father-in-law, Lord Victor Yeagerin, it has been made official that the Forgeborn are going to be made and have a home here. Of course, there are a ton of details to work out, but the road is getting paved. You also let it slip to Queen Marceline that you have a way to fix Henry, and Henry has agreed to go through with it if she's okay with it. Metagame, you know he'll survive the surgery and it's going to go great, but in game, there's still the possibility they won't go well. Henry's doctors gave him like 18 months to live, but he's terrified of accidentally cutting it short. The meeting is over, but the royal family, so the Creathazars, the Yeagerins, and Ogath are going to have dinner with the entire family there for the first time in years. A lot of playing catch-up, and Nokia is still happy to play translator. Victor's going to stare daggers at Nokia the whole time, but you can imagine that with everyone else there who likes Nokia. Nokia is King James's new best friend. Vic will probably behave for the time being. You guys are welcome to attend, since your kid is there, and you're King Henry's guests. And then Pale Jr. and Yagami are debating helping Nokia or going back to the Paperclip Labs and starting work on their siblings and the Shield Guardian with Garfield. What do you guys do?
I mean, I absolutely go, but I go no armor, no weapons, just plain clothes.
Okay.
I'm going to try and sit near, but not next to, Vic.
Okay. The other two of you?
I'm just gonna keep an eye on... Who's the guy staring at my kids again?
Vic.
Victor.
Vic? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna kinda... You know, like they have like suits of armor, in castles and shit. I think I'm just gonna basically do that.
Yeah.
Just like arms crossed, surveying everything.
Yeah, if you explain that you don't eat, they will understand that you're not sitting at the table with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be funny if they're like, so how do you eat? And I go, I don't. I just slather it on my face. It's a scenario that plays through Bastion's head, I think. But yeah, I'm just gonna...
He's tempted.
Yeah. Also, I don't... Well, no, they have giants here. I think that they probably have chairs that could fit me.
They do. Yeah. Caroline?
Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think if everyone else is sitting down, I also will. I'll sit on the other side of Vic, actually.
Okay.
I'll sit right behind him.
Not at the table?
Nope.
Okay.
Awkward as fuck.
Awkward as fuck. All right. And probably Wade is also going to get a plate, but then also probably stand against the wall next to you. You know, watching the door, even though they're in the castle, which is like the safest place in Thunderscrim next to Victor's Keep. But, yeah. So.
And then I'm gonna awkwardly flirt with Wade right behind Vic.
God, poor Wade. This poor man.
Okay, so everyone sits down and has dinner. They are eating something normal. It's just like roast wyvern and like Parmesan zucchini or something. And let me see here. Make a con save for Henry.
I thought you were going to say we all make comments.
Yikes!
Like, all right, good luck. Oh, God.
So Henry got a -2 on his con save. That's fucking tough. Nat 1, and he's got a -2 con. Yeah, so partially into the dinner. Fuck. Or before that happens, does anyone say anything? Because like the whole royal family is here, and they're basically giving King James like the down low on everything that's happened in the last like 5 years, like after he lost the ability to write. Because like they have a pseudo sign language thing, but then King James is not very smart, so he couldn't really learn it that well, and he's starting to lose the ability to like even make sense of hand signals.
Jeez.
So he has not.
Does he just see people signing the boss coming?
Yes. And like if he tries to read people's lips, that's all he sees. He's starting to not be able to see faces. He still knows who's who, but they're like, according to him, now that he's able to tell someone, it's like their faces distort and like turn into black shadows, and it's horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one way to put it. It's just nightmare fuel.
Yeah, so they're catching him up on everything. And Queen Christine, who essentially has dementia, because she has like a lot of mineral buildup in her brain because her organs don't work very well. And she's mostly keeping along, but you realize that she hasn't been privy to a lot of the stuff that's been happening either. And so it's both of Henry just explaining things to his very confused parents.
Kid.
Yeah. And Henry will joke, it's like, hey Dad, do you want your old job back? And King James is like motioning to Queen Christine, like, we both know she was the one in charge, I just looked pretty and gave speeches occasionally. And they all kind of have a laugh. And
Who in the world, girls?
what?
Who run the world, girls?
King James eventually said something about King Henry needing a sandwich, and King Henry's like, you also need a sandwich, and so does Mom. And you learn that apparently it's an inside joke of King James thinks a sandwich will make everything better no matter the situation. And he's kind of right, you know, honestly.
Absolutely right. What do you mean? Kind of right. Clearly, y'all have never had sandwiches that change your lives.
Yeah. And
I'm kind of just. Go
ahead.
No, you got it.
It's King James actually noticing Victor kind of being Victor. He actually asks the family of like, so there's tension I've picked up on? What do you guys argue about? And Henry very, very, I don't know if sternly is the word, but he's like, we can talk about it later, Dad. And there's more tension, but then Marceline changes the subject.
So, how are you guys, King Henry? How are you liking our new visitor? Like having your dad back, having us back. How are you liking all the visitors?
I'm not a social person, and Marceline laughs at him very blatantly. And he's like, shut up. But I do enjoy having friends around. He's giving you a look. It's You can make an insight check if you like.
I can already imagine what that look is for. I can make the roll if you want. I know Matt already knows, but I'll make the check just because it'll be funny.
He's questioning what friend are you talking about, either Stephen Puyo or Ash Barlow, or both.
That is a 15 insight check. It's both.
Okay. Seeing where you're going with this, it's Henry's actually had this thought. I'm gonna see if he's brave enough to do it. And then we'll roll for... Okay. So, seeing you mention that, and then Marceline also seeing you mention that, and Henry looks like he's about to tell you to chill, but then Marceline elbows him in the ribs, and he kind of cringes a lot, and doesn't look at Victor, but asks both of his parents of, Dad, do you remember who Stephen Puyo is? And he's like, oh, the McCool champion, right? Well, the old one, I guess, motioning to you, Pale. And he's like, oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, did he die? What happened? I was reading for the guy. And Henry's like, he did kind of die. And Henry motions for you to explain, Pale.
And I'm just going to do the whole thing of, so he died, his soul was ripped asunder by Pelor. There's a trade-off after Glamora. Yeah, her also died because Steven's better than her and generally a better person. And so he is currently recuperating post-death. A very righteous leader is helping him.
And
Gonna kind of look back at him like, Boy King?
And King James is like, holy shit, are they gonna be able to fix him? And Henry slowly looks across the table and makes eye contact with Victor the whole time he's saying this. And he's like, they might be able to fix him, but that kind of depends on us, because they can't heal him with magic, and so they asked us if we could let them borrow some of our doctors. And Victor's about to explode, as he also is staring at Henry, and they're having a staring contest over the table. And King James is a little oblivious pretty much all the time, but he's like, oh shit. He's like, you said yes, right? That he could come here? And Henry's like, yeah, and Henry, like, deflates with relief of, like, thank God my dad's on board, which means nobody can say anything about it. Fuck me. And then he's like, King James is like, damn, yeah, I mean, he could stay at our hospital as long as he doesn't do anything. Yeah, shit, put him in the room next to mine. And Henry's like, we've been talking about putting him in a, like a cabin or something to get him out of town, so... And King James is like, oh yeah, because I think people would panic. Yeah, that'd be a thing we have to, like, be cool about. I mean, but yeah, if Later can help, I'd love to. That's, especially me being able to talk now. When is he getting here? And King Henry's like, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just, like, coughing on my food. I was like, when's he getting here? I was going to kind of look over at him like, when is he getting here?
And King Henry's like, that's, I don't know, kind of waiting to hear that from you, buddy.
Yeah, soon. But, speaking of friends and old friends, I'm going to kind of look up over at Vic, I guess, a seat or two over. How are you at new friends?
He purses his lips to the point where it's like a Coach purse, you know, a Versace purse, like that much of a purse of his lips. And he's like, I am very particular about my friends, and especially keeping my friends safe. And he looks around the whole table.
But are you open to new ones?
Depends on who they are.
Well, I very much would love to be an acquaintance, or at least an ally, if not a friend, of a Godslayer when every realm is facing down on something I would put on the level of a god. So, I know you disapprove of me, but hopefully you and I can just be playful enemies by the end of all this. And hopefully you and Steven can at least trade jokes about hating different gods.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh man. Why'd I close it out? Give me a second.
Closed roll
Sorry.
20? What a silly goose.
Listen, no one ever accused me of being intelligent. Well, they've accused me of it, but it's very wrong of them.
Unsubstantiated.
No,
Exactly.
you got
That
more.
would be...
You got more
wait,
education than this crayon eater.
Let me pull up Roll20.
You eat crayons. I eat Pilot G10 07 pens.
Yeah, and I eat colored pencils.
Mm-hmm.
You fancy.
Yeah. I like
I
the
eat-
sweaters.
They don't feed us. We just get coffee. Sometimes we get the grounds.
I love coffee
All right.
grind.
So that's a 3 plus 1. It's a 4, and I'm gonna touch myself for. What is it for? The thing.
The D4, I think.
Yeah. Touch myself for a D4.
Add another 5 to this.
So that's a 4, 5, 10.
Okay.
Wait, was that with the 5?
Yes.
Oh god.
Yes.
Victor has his elbows on the table, and he says, "Keep your friends close and your enemies closer."
Do I have like a little drink?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna raise my drink and say, I hope that you and I can be uncomfortably close then, my friend. Just take a little sip.
He also toasts you.
Oh, this guy's gonna kill me.
And Henry's drinking coffee and takes an entire gulp of it also.
Love that for him.
Yeah. And yeah, they keep having dinner.
I keep my flame on like a medium low, so that's not to put them off too much, knowing how they are.
And King James is like, "Man, he talking to Marceline. You've gotten so tall. I'm so sorry. I had like a whole speech planned for your wedding. And, you guys have been best friends since you were 3. It's so cute." And she's like, "Well, you're right, Jay." And yeah, it's actually a good father-in-law relationship other than the...
When you know, versus if she ain't back by 11.
Listen, Queen Marceline still lives at her parents' house.
It's a castle.
Well, no, they have a Victor essentially has a fort, like a mountain over.
Nuke bunker.
Basically.
Uranium.
Yeah, but does anybody else talk about anything with at dinner?
Not at dinner.
Okay.
And so then I had this thing with cinnamon and my immovable rod.
I imagine Dale's just listening like, so that's what happened. I heard from the tent over, but oh my god.
Anyways, so it turns out when you combine a 5-inch gear and a 6-inch gear, you can actually get a better rotational force than if you were just do another 6 and another 6-inch gear.
Yeah, James, the 9-year-old...
Fluid dynamics?
Marceline's little brother, James, who's named after King James, he's like in that phase where he's extremely into like trucks, and so he is fucking enraptured by you talking about machine parts. And so the other kids basically
my conversation.
Anyways, so the crankshaft goes right into the it makes sure that the pistons of the engine keep turning and they pump out the fuel. And this is a purely hypothetical discussion, of course.
You're talking about gasoline engines?
Yeah. Anyway, so the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah. I'm planning on making Skynet. Have you heard of that?
Right, so hypothetically, the human brain is just a really smart computer, and if we were to hypothetically be able to make a bunch of them and link them up together, and then ask it questions, we'd be able to find out answers a lot quicker than if we were to just ask those people. Because people need time to think, but computers don't.
Kind of listen to that and then back up. Yep, there's just a bunch of ghosts in there. Technology, it's just ghosts.
Right, in the machine.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's, Marceline has that question. She's like, are you sure that, like, if Pelorians are stealing souls, and they have been in the dungeon, like, they stole Steve Boyo's soul, are you sure that all of them, like, haven't been born yet, and they aren't, like, people that the Pelorians killed?
We have no idea.
We actually need to kind of. We need. There are discussions that we shouldn't be having at dinner.
I mean, we know
I
how to
think
we know how to how they get the souls in there. We just don't. I don't know if you could just stab someone with a crystal, and it would fix it. I don't think that would work.
like putting them back in their body?
Yeah, I don't think that'd really work. Also, their body's probably super rotted by now.
Probably. I mean, Stephen Puyo didn't have a soul for 15 years, and he was still conscious.
Yeah, but he was also the chosen one of a death god, so
True.
that kind of
What's
gives
wrong with
you a
death
lot.
gods?
No, there's nothing. I didn't say there's anything wrong with it. That just kind of gives you benefits of not having a soul that a lot of other people who don't worship death gods don't get.
True.
You hear Victor not subtly at all mumble, "There's a lot wrong with death gods."
You're not wrong.
And Henry would also, while his dad's here in a good mood, he's like, Dad, you probably don't know who Ash Barlow is, but they do have his soul also. He's also telling Marceline this for the first time. He's like, so what's, yeah, I don't know how they got it. Are you putting him in a robot also?
Well, he got violently murdered. He got violently murdered, and if he's given a new body, it will overgrow with, was it soul vines?
Soulwood.
Soulwood. So close. It'll overgrow with that, so, even after his violent murder, he cannot know peace because of his, ex-wife who turned into a Tarrasque for a bit.
And we don't know what happened to her.
Not at all.
Hopefully she's just having a bad time, but...
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
You want
But
to
anyway. Yeah, can you pass the zucchini? Thanks, yeah.
Right. Yeah. What salad dressing is that? Oh, it's balsamic vinaigrette.
Oh, fantastic. I had a great raspberry vinaigrette when I was in the Underdark once. It was great. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. And King James is like, oh, is that guy coming here too? He sounds like he got fucked up. And Henry's like, yeah, that...
He will come here if he is able to come here under the welcome of everyone. My people do not want to cause problems for you. We want to help in any way we can, but that is, and I'm looking right at Vic when I say this, at the behest of those who would be protective, not only to look after themselves, but those who look out for their best interests.
Yeah, same for my people as well. Kind of don't have anywhere else to go for right now.
And King James shrugs. He's like, the more the merrier. He's like, we will have, people watching your evil dudes, but if they need help, I'm the champion of Emulator, for crying out loud.
Well, it's not even that they need your help. We do, but we want to help you as well. Your causes are righteous.
And Henry's like, yeah, we need him for, war intelligence or whatever, because we're invading Stone Garden first. And he's the one who knows the most about it, so...
Yeah. So, yeah.
Some gears have just turned in Bastion's. All three of my kids could hear him, right?
Of King James, yes.
Yeah, and Bastion can hear him.
Yes.
I canonically have a soul, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Terrifying
It's not
question.
in you in the same way that it's in the Forgeborn, their soul magazines, but it's in you in the same way that, your soul's in a flesh person. It's just in there. Why?
I have a working theory that I've developed. So...
Is it working?
We're about to find out.
Hmm?
Oh,
I
no.
was created before everyone else, so I was never a part of the cycle of birth and death.
You were one of the first souls taken out of the Ethereum Stone.
So I was the first soul removed.
Yes.
Oh. Whoops.
Oh, Bastion was supposed to be a person.
Whoopsies. Well,
That's some deep lore.
I am still a person. I'll have you know. I just have to sleep for
But
a couple
was
of
taken-
thousands of centuries.
he was taken out of the birth queue before, like, destiny and fate were ordained, so it didn't fuck up anything. Is what Gond would tell you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I trust him implicitly. Because my thinking is I had the thought, King James has got my back. That means that I want to do something nice for him. And then I had the thought of, King James, I was going to say, Bastion says to King James, if something ever happens to you medically, I'll try to fix it. And then I thought about it, and something is happening to it medically. And then I thought about, well, how can I fix that? And I'm trying to think of, is it the souls that lets us translate for him? Or is it just the fact that we're not people?
How do I word this?
Without spoiling?
Yeah.
I can make an end check if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and think about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna think real hard about it with the guidance and everything, if that's allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, I can touch you.
If you want to touch me, that's alright.
And can you also get a friendship medal? Do you have a friendship medal?
I do. It's right on my
Oh.
chest, right next to
So
where
it's
my
a-
heart would be.
Oh, God.
The friendship
Yeah,
medal
and
only
then-
works if you're actively helping him somehow.
actions.
And
So
I
you
don't.
have to be
I
talking to him.
I
Dang
think
it.
I think that realistically, what happens is Bastion says something and then just stops talking for a while, which happens frequently. So I don't know if anyone
Yeah.
would.
start
I'm gonna go ahead and. I'm not innately going to, but I will reaction add a +5 to this potentially. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead add a 5 to that. So that's only a. It's only a 13.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not
just wanna-
sure. You'd have to think
have
about
to-
it more.
Yeah, I'll have to do some tinkering because I think that realistically, all I could do is just replace his voice box. Well, no, there'd have to be some brain augmentations because if it's affecting his visual system, I think that Bastion just starts like muttering to himself, and in the middle of just on the table, I think just starts like sketching out, not actually, but just like drawing different things and connecting stuff. There's,
You get a napkin.
you know how like if you're like when your computer like starts having to process.
Yeah, the fan.
Yeah,
the cooler fan.
I think my like internal fans kick in a bit more.
Just hear, overheating, and then cooling, and then overheating.
Yeah, everyone kind of glances at you, but they're like, robot doing robot things. Okay. I was gonna have them say something else. God damn it.
Whoopsies.
Oh, yeah. With you talking about Carolina, make a persuasion check as you're talking to Wade.
Okay, persuasion plus 8. 24.
Okay. Wait. I'm trying to think of what I want to have him tell you first. Yeah, Wade tells you he was briefly engaged, but she left him during his he got a Dear John letter on his first Navy deployment, and then it was mostly a lot of when he went to port, they go bar hopping because they're sailors, and then he had one girlfriend here in Thunderscrum, but then as soon as he got promoted with taking 2 bullets for King Henry, and they were like, you know what, you saved his life twice, why don't you just hang out with him from now on? His social life's kind of died because he's almost constantly just hanging out with Henry.
So
But then he
sorry,
tells you he's off. He's like, what do you do on Saturday nights?
whatever I want to. To whoever.
Yeah, okay.
Are you asking me on a date there, sir?
He's like, how do you feel about, do you watch wrestling?
Yeah, we can Netflix and Raw.
No, he starts whispering. He's like, I can't talk about it here.
Oh no, I was making a joke because Raw WWE has now been they're now going to be on Netflix, and so instead of Netflix and chill, we can Netflix and Raw.
No, he meant that he can't talk about it. You get the idea that Wade knows about an illegal fighting thing, and he can't, being that he's a government official, he can't say it in front of Henry, who's essentially the Supreme Court. You imagine that Henry probably knows about this, because it's what Wade does basically every Saturday, but he has to pretend that he doesn't.
Yeah, a little Raw underground action. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down. I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh, God.
Your Huckleberry.
Yeah, just
Girl,
you'll... Go ahead.
Lied about how
I'm
sick you
I
were.
was gonna say, hey girl, you like big dicks? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Damn. This is my bad.
Oh no. No.
Lord.
Yeah, Wade's like, they probably wouldn't let you participate, and you may have to go in disguise, but it's a fun time.
Cool.
Yeah. But then, what else did I want the royal family to say? I think that might be it. For the current minute. Other than that, it's mostly just... Or actually, when you start talking about machine parts, Henry would take this opportunity to mention to his parents that you might cut out all of his organs and replace the weakness of his flesh.
Strength and certainty of steel.
Yes. And King James is all for it. Then they explain it several times to Queen Christine, because it takes her a minute to like fully understand what they're going to do. And then the whole Jaegerin family is like in disbelief, but obviously Victor is staring daggers at everyone again. Probably just cold as ice as he's hearing everything that he's hearing, but then again, as Marceline's like, yeah, they could totally fix him. Victor's probably not going to say anything in this current moment because his daughter is convinced that it's going to go well. But Henry's just open about the fact that he's kind of terrified.
Yeah. I would like to listen in, in between the flirts and conversation with Wade, to see if there's any shenanigans being talked about, amongst some of the, not typically the royal family, but the Jaegerin family.
What do you mean by shenanigans?
Just, see what they're saying, see if they're talking shit under their breath or something,
Okay, make a perception check.
Can I, in the meantime, be showing everyone, like, King Henry's new organs?
Yeah.
Like, I pull them out of my, like, chest cavity.
Yeah, as they start clearing out the meal and they're having, like, crepes for dessert or something. In that, like, meantime, you could pull out all the organs, and Henry looks a little nauseous. But Queen Marceline tries to, like, reassure him, and they're all asking you more questions of, like, how it works and everything.
Right, so blood typically will flow into this ventricle here, and it's pushed into here, and then it circulates down into the lungs, and so this is what this artery right here is. Here, so this is actually, this will take the blood back in, and it'll keep pumping it out through the rest of the body. I had to calculate the motor a little bit to make sure that it actually did what it's supposed to. But I mean, yeah, like, honestly, it should work. You can even put an enchant so it'll actually, it should sound like that.
That's an 18 active listening and 27 passive.
Yeah. At you showing them how it works, King James, who hasn't had hope for years, he puts his hand on Henry's shoulder and looks him dead in the eyes and says, with Nokia's voice, obviously, "You're not going to die." Which you hear a very stern, "The Maw is coming," but then Nokia in their deep-ass voice translates. And Henry looks at his dad, and he looks like he's kind of going pale. Paler than usual.
So like fire on his head, red skin.
No. But then Carolina, with you listening for stuff, you mostly hear the Jaegerin kids, like they're all below 14. Fiona is talking to her other two like younger siblings that are both 12. Persephone and Niobe, I believe their names are. And they're like mentioning, they're talking about theorizing of what their father's going to do when they get home. And mostly of just Victor has a very, very, very tight-knit group of like wizards that are the only ones he trusts to consult on things. There are a couple of clerics he knows that are like the only ones he trusts again, which mostly that has been August, but it's clear that Victor is not trusting August in this moment because he's also on board with everything. And then you mostly see Lord Jaegerin's wife, Lady Marcy, she's trying to get Victor to like chill out and eat. Like, darling, you haven't touched anything, you know? Stop being angry for 2 seconds. That sort of a deal. And, or when King James said earlier of, you know, I've noticed tension between you two, and Henry was like, we can talk about it later. And two of the younger kids, I think their names were Augusta and also Christine, they joked of like, yeah, tension.
Huh.
But King James is just having us staring into his son's eyes and going, you're not going to die. It's partially a command, and partially for some reason, King James is, it's as though he knows.
Thank goodness someone has a vote of confidence.
Yeah. No, King James is the ultimate optimist.
Yes, we have Boy King and God King. Together they make a realistic-minded person.
And then the King.
Oh, Henry would also take this opportunity to tell his dad about the Emperor. It's like, so not only everything else, I now have a fucking megalomaniacal pedophile stalking me. And immediately King James like looks to Victor and he's like, can you have that guy assassinated? And Victor's like, I will try.
We've all been trying, Your Majesty.
You
We've all
killed
been
that guy for me?
I mean, that's
killed him several times for him.
You didn't even gotta ask. We were already planning to, man.
He's like,
What?
oh, good. Yeah. Then they have a brief conversation of, do we know anyone who's in Sankarel? And Henry tells his parents about Garfield. He's like, if you want to meet him, you can. He's,
No.
eccentric.
No. No.
He's August like, yeah, he's currently staying in my lab. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
No. None of you are ready for that yet.
Just eccentric is definitely the word.
There are words I won't use in front of royals to describe him.
Mm-hmm.
Eccentric genius works.
Fox sniffer.
What sniffer?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Anyway,
Fox sniffer?
Cock or box?
Cock.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, probably.
That other one I think is a slur for lesbians, and I
Oh.
don't meet that criteria, so I can't say that.
I mean, wouldn't the other one also be a slur for gays?
Yeah, but I am gay.
Oh,
so
okay.
I-
So you're allowed to say. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Little known surprise. I
Yeah.
love men.
I am blown away.
Yeah, and women.
Mm-hmm.
I don't discriminate.
Mm-hmm. Equal
Talk
opportunity.
about indecision.
Yeah. Double the chance to be
Strike
horribly
out.
alone as well, though. Yeah, strike out.
By
That's
yourself.
Choke them like that.
true. You should not do that.
Don't. Hey, King Henry, please don't.
Oh yeah, that was Henry. He rolled a nat 1 on his con save earlier.
It's
Talking about
this
everything.
entire time he's been coughing.
Yes, he's been coughing a lot through the entire dinner, especially every time he accidentally makes eye contact with Victor, and every new subject he brings up of every subject that's been giving him immense stress this entire fucking time. And you notice, Carolina, Wade starts paying less and less attention to you talking, And then, like, as you see Henry start sweating, and his hand is shaking as he's, like, holding a fork. His voice is getting weaker, and so Wade stands up, setting his own plate down, grabs Henry's shoulder, and that's when the rest of the royal family kind of realizes, oh shit, Henry's not doing good right now. And Henry gets paler, and Wade lays him down on the floor. And everyone who's not seen Henry in a while, you know, his parents, because Henry's been deliberately not telling them how bad it's getting, is, Henry essentially just passes out on the floor. And Wade starts, like, ripping his armor off and doing the emergency stuff that Wade does pretty much every day, clearing the, surgical drains to Henry's lungs. And he has somebody put his feet on a chair to, like, get blood to his head and everything. Marceline looks extremely panicked of, like, this is the second time today Henry's had to lay on the floor. And you can see King James is standing there probably about to cast a spell. He never uses the Later magic, even though he certainly has it, even still now that he's a warlock of himself. But they're kind of standing there, and you can see that King James is, like, literally there's not much he can do to heal Henry other than, like, make him not have as much blood loss. Maybe he can heal that a little bit, but the ulcers in his lungs don't go away with magic healing because they're not an injury. They're just really shitty cells. So he can't really fix Henry. No one can. But eventually Wade gets, except for you, all right?
Yeah.
They can't fix the parts he currently has, okay?
Yeah, that's why steel is just so much better.
But eventually, Wade makes Henry wake up of, like, they have one of the, I guess you'd call them servers, like, go get some ice, and they put it on Henry's head. And Henry mostly just looks embarrassed and starts apologizing over and over again of, like, he made a scene at dinner. And everyone's like, Henry, shut the fuck... Or really, Marceline's like, Henry, shut the fuck up. I swear to God, if you get...
Just shut the fuck up, Henry.
Yeah. Do not be mean to yourself. I swear to God, man.
Or we'll be mean to you and you will cry. I don't actually say that. I think Vic would kill me if I said that.
But King James sort of crosses his arms as he's nervously kind of also sweating of watching his son have, like, a fit or whatever. And he's like, so, when are we doing this thing to fix him? And Henry looks
soon.
really pale again and almost passes out, you know, because he's scared.
Has he considered not being scared?
I mean, I'm sure he'd love to.
Yeah. You should try harder.
Yeah.
Skill issue.
And Marceline would tell him if they have to, like, get doctors to, like, practice a couple times first.
They can practice on me. I have organs.
Victor looks like he's more than happy to let them fucking experiment cutting your lungs and heart out.
Hey, whatever the Boy King needs is what I do.
Henry shakes his head no.
Okay, whatever King Henry needs. Sorry for calling the Boy King.
And then, oh yeah, he's too busy being almost unconscious to be mad at you about the Boy King thing. But August mentions, he's like, if you died in an experimental surgery, you would explode and blow up half the hospital.
That's fine. Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, no. Just do it on the ice sands then or something, but fair enough.
Yes, surgery. Outside, in the winter wastes. Mm-hmm.
I need Bastion to be surgically qualified. He is.
Do you want to make a medicine check?
I actually am proficient in medicine.
Make a medicine check to see if you think you can do it.
14. Because I'm adding another 5 to that.
Okay. You are not completely familiar with flesh parts, but it's probably going to be a good idea for you to be in the room, even when the doctors fully understand it in practice, just to, you know, because you're the guy who designed the fucking thing.
Ooh, that's a 17, actually.
Oh, wow. Same thing.
Damn. Well, I gave it my best shot.
You're more of a metal guy, not a flesh.
Yeah. Well,
guy.
I mean, look, we can handle it once he's more metal.
Yeah. Yeah. But eventually the dinner quiets down, and Henry's parents look really tired, basically. And Henry, especially it winds down as Henry kind of, like, throws up. And you guys see that, or everyone basically is horrified to see Henry without a shirt on. because he's a skeleton. Yeah. And it's just bad. And Marceline's like mad at him for not eating. And he's like, well, every time I eat, half the time it makes me throw up, so... And King James nods and goes, a sandwich. You need a sandwich. And he's like, thank you, Dad. He's like kind of joking to make Henry feel better. But also, you know, he's going to make his son eat a sandwich.
He is king.
Yeah. Yeah.
Royal decree, eat the fucking sandwich.
Yes. And if you throw up, eat another one.
Royal decree, you have to eat all the eggs.
Uh-huh.
Here's a dozen boiled eggs. Why are you doing that?
Why are you doing this?
Is that
I'm
a meme?
Yeah.
It's this 4chan green text for this guy. It's the story is that it's like you save like a woman from being like an abusive situation, and she like stays at your place or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you like find her like on the street, and you're like, okay, like I'll help you out. And this guy made a whole post where it's like, I would, you know, take her back to my place and like make sure she's comfortable, safe, make sure that she's got like a nice spot on the sofa. And then I would offer her 12 hard-boiled eggs and say to her, I'm not going to ask any questions, and you don't have to give me any answers you don't want to, but you do have to eat all of these eggs.
That's his requirement for her staying in his place.
Yeah,
his payment is her eating all the fucking eggs.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna find it real quick.
Fuck. But Henry's parents would, or at least King James would walk Henry to his room. Queen Christine's like kind of getting tired and weak and everything. But they make Henry go to bed. And Henry never lets Marceline like hold his hand or anything because it makes him feel gross about himself. But they do actually hug for once again. And Victor also looks pissed about that, but that's, you know, Victor's problem. And Wade takes Henry and King James up to his room, and August goes with them because he's probably going to spend time with King James later. Time that Nokia's not going to translate. Nokia's probably going to walk them to Henry's room, but then part ways with them as they're not going to be there with August and James alone.
Yeah,
So what do you guys do? The Jaegerins are packing up to go home because the kids are all pretty young except for Marceline and Fiona, so they're going to go to bed.
I'm going to wait for my compatriots.
Would King James know where the previous champion of Vivian might be?
Do you ask him?
Yes.
He says no, but Victor probably knows. They were adventuring buddies together.
I don't think he likes me very much.
Victor doesn't like anybody. You just gotta let him warm up. He's just like that. King James, who he explains that he's actually extremely grateful to Vic because as he was losing his fucking mind, and as Queen Christine was like losing it, and then King James's dad, King Martin, was like super evil. So Vic basically kept the kingdom together during all of that, and he essentially has been like Henry's stepdad, not just his father-in-law. But, you know, that's why Henry's a rogue, is because Victor taught him everything. And King James talks about even as he's losing the ability to speak, Victor still comes over and they, like, play chess, even if it's in silence, and, like, drink. And he took Henry to go, like, hunt his first wyvern so he could have the teeth for his royal bracers and everything. So he's like, Vic is a good guy, and he genuinely does mean the best for everyone. He's just a fucking douche about it. And always thinks he's right, and you just gotta convince him that he's not. And will he get pissed about it? Yes. But he'll get over it. He's a good guy. He's just so uptight because, you know, trauma, all that. He needs to drink less also, but that's, you know.
So they were traveling buddies. Were they good friends?
Victor doesn't have a lot of friends. And I don't know if they, you know, have like nostalgic feelings for each other, but they do keep in touch. I'm pretty sure anyway. They did until, you know, last I heard like 6 years ago. And she's come to Thunderscram a couple of times for other stuff. But she got busy with her, like, training academy or something. Again, last I heard, but...
Training academy, that's new.
Yeah, she, like, has a you've heard about this before, actually. You may not remember it, though. Serial has what's called the School for Wayward Girls, which she basically trains Vivianites in, according to the riddles you guys figured out in, like, episode 85 or something. The School for Wayward Girls it was in Golgari, but she's moved it to Dunan, the Vecna theocracy.
Okay. So if I don't get anything out of Vic, we can try that out. Okay. Well, thank you, Your Highness.
He's like, oh yeah, and then Mongor, another guy who was in their group, he lives in Lahuya. He has like a little village there. And Victor helped him set that up. They're still close, I think. I mean, mostly because Mongor was like a barbarian, so like he didn't use magic, so they always got along. And then nobody's heard from Grogna since he found the Philosopher's Stone. I think he's been, doing wizard stuff, but which, gross, but I'm happy that he's living his best life. Because he's like a goblin. Like, their life expectancy is like 40, and he's like 85 now.
Wow, a goblin living double his lifespan?
Yeah. Well, he's also super powerful wizard, and then like a Dane person.
I was gonna say that's some high-level magic.
Yeah.
A clone?
Again, like between him and August, only wizards he trusts. Only wizards Victor trusts.
Is it a clone?
I don't know.
Am I a
But
clone?
yeah, Grogna is extremely powerful. He actually, cast the Prime Banishment on Vecna. Like,
yeah.
Everyone else had to help to get the parts together, but then he was the one who actually cast the spell.
Okay.
And I helped with the Ethereum shard thing, like, because that's a big power of it, is that you can give people magic and make it stronger. I guess the same with your Soul Sliver magazine things.
How does that make you feel that you don't like magic, that you can make magic stronger using the Ethereum shard?
I'm glad that it's in my hands, so therefore it's never used. And then he kind of grimaces and he's like, well, it's in hands that I trust. And kind of glances at Henry, but then glances back to you.
Did I notice that?
Yeah, or he told you earlier that, or he told Bastion. I don't know if Bastion's told you yet.
He didn't tell me.
Yeah. And Noki is, I guess, translating for you guys, and he's like, yeah, I gave Henry the Ethereum shard. I'd like to talk about that later, though. Don't tell him, please.
I do the zipper over my mouth motion.
He gives you a thumbs up. So whenever you guys can come by, like later, I'd appreciate that, because you guys are his friends, and I don't think I can tell Victor about this.
I don't think I would either.
August knows. A little bit. He knows that I don't have it anymore. But I haven't been able to tell August why either. He distrusted me, which is cool. Because it's August.
Yeah, some things are just on a how much do I need to know basis. Like you told him what you did, and he didn't need to know anymore.
Yeah, August's cool like that. And he gives a smile of, the boyfriend I've had for like 45 years is cool like that. But then they would make their exit and help Henry limp to his room.
I'm going to wait for everyone else to leave and try to talk to Vic.
He does not want to talk to you, but if you're there obviously doing it, he will step out of earshot of his kids and wife.
I'm just going to walk and say, hey, I just want to talk to you for a minute. Again, just straight up, if you don't want to, I'm not going to push you. I do just want to talk. You don't have to do it tonight. I know your kids are probably tired. But if there's a point, I just want us to be on a level speaking ground. Obviously, you're stronger than I am. You're a god killer. I am a small sliver of strength.
You're a champion.
And you are a god killer. I know where I stand in comparison to you.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeehaw. That's an 18.
Okay.
Good.
You
Let's
see
go.
you see his ego flutter a little bit, as he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I could kill you."
So if we can ever just sit down and discuss what we want, I think we'll align a lot more than you may expect. I just want to sit and talk some time. You don't have to respect me. You don't have to like me. Just let's sit down and have that chat sometime. Have a good night. I'm just gonna walk away and let him do his own thing.
Yeah. He would mention to you, or he would say to you, he's like, "I want to know everything that you're willing to tell me, because then I'll know what you're up to."
I have no secrets. I'm a little too boring for that. My secrets died when Tyr left me.
He just grimaces and nods.
Anyway, good night. I'm gonna go, I actually have to send a book to my girlfriend, so.
You did that already.
No, I'm just telling him that, so I have an excuse to walk away.
Okay. Okay.
I have to go return some videotapes.
You want to make an insight check?
Yeah, I would. What would do well? That is a dirty, disgusting, sloppy 20.
You... I don't know if you get this from just the look he's giving you, or just like a sixth sense that you have. He may be leaving. You are going to be watched.
Yeah.
By people you can't see.
They are in the walls. Here, I thought that was a bit. And just because of that, I'm going to find a random book and have it sent to her, being like, thought you would like this, and it's just going to be like a random book on, like, soups.
Yeah.
The Royal Soup Book.
We can get to you finding a book here in a minute.
Oh, God.
Are the other two of you doing anything?
Guys.
Sorry. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna check in with my kids, see if Nokia is still translating for King James.
Yeah, after they, like, drop Henry off at his room, because King James wanted to walk him there, Nokia would come back to you.
Okay. Do you know where your brothers are?
I think they went back to the lab with, Garfield and the Necromancers, and Kimmer, and that one really goth girl.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, well, let's go check in on them. I haven't gotten to see you guys in a while.
Yeah. It's been a day, huh?
Yeah, it has been now, hasn't it?
And I will say, before Marceline leaves, she would shake all of your hands of, like, thank you for potentially saving my husband. I like him being alive. I like him in general, but I like him being alive.
I like solving problems, and that's a pretty big one. And the solution is he's fixed. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I've got another one now. My next one's to fix the speech issues with the king. Or
You think you can make that
previous
or-
king.
You think you can make that permanent?
The speech problems?
Well, yeah, just so, I think he feels guilty about having to have a kid follow him around.
Oh, Nokia doesn't mind. He really likes helping people. But I mean, it'd be nice if he didn't have to. It's more a convenient thing for the king rather than my kids.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I certainly won't say no.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to do some thinking on it, because I don't know if it's a problem with his brain or if it's a problem with his organs, like his other ones, like his eyes and his ears. I'm gonna have to do some thinking on it. We can test it out. It'll be alright.
Yeah, she kind of quirks her mouth as she has no idea, but,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go digging around in his head.
yeah, he probably wouldn't let you. Maybe ask August. August knows most about it.
The speech stuff?
Well, just everything to do with King James, like the Ethereum shard, and then, he's obviously been studying the Ma stuff as much as he can.
Yeah, I'll check in with him, see what he's got to say.
Okay.
I
And
think
then,
we're about to go see him anyways.
yeah. But she'd go and shake your hand, Pale, of, I'm so glad that Victor didn't explode. He's probably going to yell at me when we get home, but that's okay. I don't take his shit anymore.
Good.
No, I keep telling Henry, you just gotta stand up to the guy, but Henry's like, listen, he's gonna kill me. Like, or she puts on, like, a scratchy voice, even her high-toned. I'm like, oh, I'm scared he's gonna kill me. And
It's horrifying. Well, you are a stronger person than I am. Good for you.
oh, I just, I don't take anybody's shit.
That's why you shouldn't.
And she goes to you, Carolina, and shakes your hand and gives, like, a giggle of, like, oh, man, Wade never gets out anymore. That's like, she noticed. Maybe if you get Wade to relax, it'll make Henry relax. And she gives you a wink, girl to girl.
I'll wink back. I'll do my best.
But then, yeah, would go with her parents and have a brief staring contest with her dad as they're gonna have a tense walk home, or ride home. They're gonna get a carriage, but, like, whatever. But then it's just you guys in the breakfast room. As Wade went with King Henry.
Oh.
Well, I think we had a good, successful meal there, guys.
Yeah. Did anybody say anything about the eyes watching of Mr. Yeagrin out loud before? I know he said that to her. Pale just got that feeling, but it was mentioned before, and I don't know if that was out loud or not.
Henry
made a joke about it.
Yeah. That's a, like, conspiracy theory that Henry has, and Victor won't deny it. He will neither confirm nor deny how many spies he has in the castle. Which, King James was comforted by that. King Henry's not.
Yeah, because it's terrifying. So yeah, I feel like we're kind of going to be consistently watched, and then they'll report back to him. But as long as we don't cause trouble, there won't be any trouble. And I'm going to just send it to both of them. And we also have the workshop if we need to talk somewhere privately.
And who all staying around as the Yeagrins leave?
As they leave, it would be... Nokia wouldn't be back yet, so it would be you three. Yeah, and then everyone else is left. There might be, like, one person cleaning the table.
How do they react to them leaving?
This one person leaving the table, they're essentially like the White House chef. They've seen all of this drama. They know to keep their mouth shut, though.
Respect.
They don't act at all in a funky way.
They're just like, nope, I didn't see anything. I'm just here sweeping up crumbs.
No signs of spies there. Alright.
And then Victor's, like, house mercenaries, they're called the top men, colloquially.
That's what they're given.
They're doing what to those men?
Can you believe a bottom did that surgery?
My
Oh, God. Terrifying.
Top man, and I'm the
Shrimp
boss.
fried this rice?
You're telling me a gingerbread this man?
Oh, my God.
What'd you say, Darian?
Said top man, but I'm the boss bitch.
Big mood, as the kids say. As the youths say. But yeah, guys, I think we did well. Look at us not causing an international incident.
Hooray!
We didn't end up in chains or being beaten to death or anything. I count that as a win.
I think if they tried that, we would have just killed them.
No, Carol wasn't wearing armor.
No, we would not cause that. We would not do that, Bastion.
Yeah, Pale would have went down, and then we'd have been in survival mode trying to save Pale.
Oh man, why am I always the one getting in trouble?
You're the one that
Just 'cause
came
I
to
am.
dinner with armor.
Listen, gabagool.
I'll stand by this. Gabagool sounds like a slur.
Yeah, but it tastes great.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sandwich to me.
Might make you slur.
Is it a sandwich?
It's a mistranslation and a mispronunciation of prosciutto.
Ah, so it's
From
kind of a
Capicola.
sandwich.
It is,
It's
yeah, or capicola,
capicola
that's
and-
what it is,
yeah.
my
It's
bad.
part of a sandwich.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
not prosciutto, my bad. I got my deli meats
You're-
mixed up. Thank God none of us
I
are
think they're-
Italian.
I think they're the same. I
How do you
don't know.
You just assume my race?
Are you Italian?
I might be.
Okay,
Bada
well, are
bang.
you?
I identify as an Italian because
Yeah.
I like Italian
Oh,
food.
God.
Yeah, I, mean, I don't know. I don't know if you. Yeah, capicola. It is, by the way, capicola.
Yeah.
Gabagool is another name for capicola, an Italian cured meat that combines the Italian words for head or capo and neck, colo.
I like how fast you Google stuff. That's happened a couple times.
That's because I did find the egg post, by the way.
I see.
I can post it.
Yeah, put it in Discord. I'll
I'm
enjoy it later.
Yeah, give me a sec. I gotta save this. But yeah. I mean, my whole thing is, it's like, why would I keep talking about things that are just wrong? The internet is free and easily accessible.
Yeah. Yeah. But after that, does everyone go to the paperclip labs?
Yep.
Nope.
Nope. Where you going?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, you said yep. Okay. In the labs, yeah. I guess you guys, I don't know, wait for Nokia to get back, but it takes them like 20, 30 minutes. But in the paperclip labs, which would also take you like 20 minutes to get across the castle to there, they're also having dinner. Dennis, Margaret, Jasmine, Garfield, Jean, and Kimmer, and someone who looks like a social worker are all on stools in their like break room area. You walk in and Kimmer and Jean are talking about how they're not sure if their parents are dead or not, and this overwhelmed looking social worker type person that the necromancers or Jasmine probably asked to come by is nodding along, and they're trying their best to ignore Garfield. Yeah. Garfield is wearing a fringed leather jacket and a crop top, and then some white, almost glowing white jeans and sandals as they eat, I don't know, pizza or something. Speaking of Italian food. And it has gabagool on it. Prosciutto.
Well, it should.
Yeah, it's the last few nights Jean's been sleeping, because there's several apartments in this wing of the castle, because King Martin, so King James's dad, Henry's grandfather, used to employ wizards when they were trying to figure out where the Ethereum shard went, when it went into King James and they didn't realize it. And so there's like an apartment here, and so August lived here for the past like 2 or 3 decades, and then Dennis and Margaret were living here, and then Jasmine has an extravagant dollhouse that Dennis bought for her that's on like a big table by the window. And so Garfield's going to be moving here soon, and Eli Locke is probably going to live in this section of the castle also because it's really well guarded, and everyone in Golgari is trying to kill him. But Jean like slept on, in in Dennis and Margaret's spare bedroom, and they're trying to figure out what Kimmer's going to do, and then Pale Jr. and Yagami, who don't need to sleep or have a bed, are like, we'll just sit on the couch in the lab when we need to quote sleep. And the social worker's like, I don't know if this is, it's how far does this extend to our, what's our obligation here as the government to, and then there's a debate of like, is this a Child Protective Services things? Because these kids are definitely not citizens, and Dennis and Margaret are weird, and, King Henry already knows about this, so what's his ruling on it gonna be? So this social worker is just trying to have, like, they're taking notes on where they think Kimmer's parents might be, and they're probably gonna ask you guys about Jean's dad, and it's like, oh yeah, he's like, the Cardinal Bishop of Makul, and they're like, yeah, gonna talk to King Henry about that shit. But yeah, they're basically just gonna go check missing kid reports and see if Kimmer's parents are like just appeared somewhere without him, and figure out the rest, and yeah, and then talk to King Henry later tomorrow when he's not bleeding to death.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
what
I'm
do you
just kind of just
sorry.
sitting there. No, you're good. Sorry. I was like saying, I'm just kind of sitting there watching everything going down. Like I'm sitting back, not touching anything.
Mm-hmm. You probably don't want to touch anything. There's like some very cursed-looking moss in like jars and stuff.
It tastes really good.
Various bones of whatever in also in jars, bubbling equipment. That's the only thing I know about every science lab is that, hey, Ian, you're a scientist. Can you confirm or deny that every science lab has like bubbling jars of like different colored fluids and test tubes full of different colored fluids? It's usually just water with food coloring in it, right? But every science lab has one. Yes? No?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've been in many labs as a scientist, and I can 100% confirm that every lab I have been in is super not a boring room full of chemicals behind a double-locked cabinet. And it definitely has a bunch of bubbling mixtures and open, fume hoods, never heard of them. A lot of mixtures just openly boiling, with, just on open Bunsen burners, a lot of frothing mixtures that just are out. PPE, never heard of it. We're like
boiling urine to make phosphorus.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
No, absolutely. I'm getting a doctorate. You can trust me. I've never lied.
And you can see Pale Jr. and Yagami have line. You know when you're playing Fallout and you've acquired like every kind of power armor, but you have nowhere to put it and you can't wear it all at once. You just line it up in a line against a wall. They've done that with all the so far made Forgeborn. They're just standing, ready, empty eyes watching. Also unnerving the social worker a lot.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, those are my boys.
And the shield guardian is walking around with like a feather duster, dusting the already immaculate kids to be. Because they're not conscious yet, so they've just like been, hey, shield guardian, what do you want to do? What's a useful thing for him to do? Is it a him? Who knows?
It's certainly a thing.
I'm sure that they'll figure it out.
I wonder if we'll get any like sisters, because like aren't all currently, like we're all dudes, right? And everyone nods, or Pale Jr. and Nokia nod, yes, they are dudes. And then Pale Jr. feels silly for asking that question. But there's no female Forgeborn yet. Or I guess it doesn't matter, because we're all, yeah.
Also, there's only 3 of you.
Yeah, it's a small testing pool.
Yeah, small sample size leads to large effect size.
And all the scientists nod as they know exactly what we talk about.
Yeah, that's why we're advanced, because we know statistics.
Yeah. Anybody do anything? Oh, sorry. I keep asking you guys that. I'm not trying to rush you, gotta. And then as soon as I say it, you guys are about to say something, and then I cut you off, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And
Broski, you good?
Yeah, it actually really bothers me.
I'm sorry.
No, Darren, you're saying something?
No.
Oh. Guess I'm just full of shit.
No, you're not. You know, I have random outbursts of shit that I think I want to say, but I don't really want to say, and I don't know if I want to say it. But I am really offended that Bastion was offended.
Oh, that's offensive. You know, I think it's like not breaking stuff and trying to keep the peace generally.
Yeah.
Same.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Or it's, now that I remember, Jasmine, the fairy, small, purple, comes out of, or she's been sitting there eating dinner with them too, but she's got like exactly a square inch of, like pizza or something, or even less than that, Jasmine weighs like 3 ounces, And but she goes over to you, Carolina, and like, not in secret, but kind of in private. And she's like, so, well, it's nice to meet the champion of my goddess. And she blushes a tiny bit because everything she does is tiny.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't take you for a Vivianite.
No, yeah, so I didn't tell you, because there was just a lot going on with, Dennis, and I'm like, man, revolution, war, apocalypse god, champions dying, death cult army, princess and a local oligarch to save, and like an anti-magic kingdom that's like totally not going to be cool with my friend Dennis doing necromancy. I was like, listen, let's chill on the side plots. And like, look, to be honest, Pale got Dennis out of prison for me, and like we promised to help him do stuff, but I don't like putting my pal in danger, and he's just been in a lot recently because like, I was trying to convince Dennis to like put distance between himself and the group, but so we didn't tell you, but then I heard word from a different Vivianite that like, you and Dennis were friends, because if you remember, the person who made all the puzzles in, I believe it was Preford, you realize that Dennis was the one who helped them do that. And she's like, yeah, so, Dennis isn't a Vivianite, but like, that's how he knows about them. But despite my worries, coming to Thunderscrim's been great for us. He met Margaret, gets to work for August Giveth, champion of Soon, consort to King James, wielder of the Ethereum Shard, and champion of Omater, of all people. We're working on the most powerful anti-necromancy enchantments the world ever seen. And it wouldn't have happened without you guys, so I'd still be like being burned to death in Rowan Farlight's basement and everything, and Dennis would have been tortured to death in prison. So just, as the champion of like, my homegirl, if you ever need anything, let me know.
I will. And I give her a bow.
She gives you a 2-inch bow back as she's standing on a bookshelf or something to be eye level with you.
Yes, I may have questions. And don't worry, I'll always look out for Dennis.
Thanks, man. I worry about him, He's just so awkward. And not good at fighting. It's a whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Like when he contacted me in the Feywild, I mostly do not tell him this. It was mostly because I felt bad for the guy. He's grown a lot, though.
Most of the things we do for guys is because we feel bad for them.
Right, I know, man.
Well, thanks for revealing yourself to me.
Yeah, no problem. Not
Any
like
other
that.
wording?
Raising.
Yeah,
but like Dennis learned necromancy to rebel and stuff, and then I knew I could use his brain for Vivianite purposes, and he was just, I knew he'd be too polite to order me around, so.
You don't know where the previous one is, do you?
Who?
Serial.
Oh, that was the. Oh, what was her name? Bailey forgot her name. Jasmine would remember. Fucking. I'd have to look at my notes. But she knows the Vivianite who like had Dennis make the cipher codes. She knows her name, and she's like, yeah. When Dennis made the codes, so technically Dennis knows where fucking Serial, or he knows they're in Dunan, because that's part of what she made us make. And she had Dennis look at some other stuff too, but then it turned out to be a bust. Yeah, she was like gonna rob a bank or something.
Yeah, I don't think that bank thing is necessary anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the bank you guys robbed. Because Pale told us everything when he got here.
As he would have.
Yeah. So
I like keeping people informed.
No, we appreciate it. Trust me. If you don't know about this, so I've been having So me and Dennis have actually been doing something kind of important. You know, figured we'd tell you guys when you got back. Didn't know you were such a powerful Vivianite, but I was going to tell you this anyway. But now that you're the boss, so he's been messaging people for me. I can do it like once or twice a day, but he can do it, you know, like 4 or 5. So we've been kind of, and she looks around and pulls Dennis away from the table, and she's like, "Hey, can you do that thing?" And so he does, what's the spell called? Detect good and evil. And so you can tell, yeah, and then he gives her a thumbs up. And she goes, "Okay, it's clear. They do have people watching this lab, like, constantly. Mostly they're scrying. Yeah, we need to get somewhere private and talk about Vivianite stuff, because there's like a lot."
Mm-hmm. Okay, understood.
We should go to the workshop.
Yes, definitely to the workshop. Can we do that here, though?
Oh, this is apparently the only place in the whole kingdom where magic is allowed, so yeah. They watch what we do, and Dennis and Margaret have to give reports on what they're working on. But this is the lab, so.
Okay. Are we summoning it?
Yep, I mean, we have no other use, may as well.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and summon the magnificent workshop.
Yeah. Dennis and Margaret would be impressed. And as soon as you walk in, Jasmine tells you, she's like, "Okay, now that we're alone." Because Dennis is like, there's one clairvoyance on the lab right now, because we're all in there. Like, they're keenly aware that the top men are watching them. And he's like, they're watched basically constantly in the labs, Dennis would tell you. Which he's like, you know, fair, we're necromancers, like, I get it. And Margaret shrugs. She's like, yeah, it's like, listen, that's just how it is. But Jasmine would tell you, she's like, all right, so everyone that was, like, our job, kind of, as the top men have been watching us, we're watching the top men back. And then, you know, the Thunderscream Intelligence Office, which, like, by the way, we haven't really mentioned this to a lot of people, because I don't know, I highly doubt that King Henry would get mad about it, but I think Victor would absolutely insist that we were executed for treason and espionage, which, like, luckily King Henry likes us, so, you know, and, but, so everyone in Rivermouth, who's not running missions, is headed to Stone Mill, because the Trucers are there, the people from Fort Truce. And currently the plan is that when the Thunderscream army starts heading south, we start heading to Stone Garden too. Well, not we, obviously, but their plan. They have probably 100 buried in the Stone Garden Provisional Council's ranks, like the Goldbury set-up government that's watching them, which Thunderscream doesn't know that we're in there, because we're, like, you know, obviously a little at odds with Yeagern's top men, but they probably need to make friends, so that's probably going to be a you thing, to be honest. But you're going to want to get in contact with somebody named Lacey Thomas. She's going to be in the Donstown Public Library. She runs the place and has, like, a central intel operation in the attic. I've never met her in person, but she knows, yeah. Like, she knows us. But she knows Dennis, and then Dennis talks to her, and Dennis nods. So basically, Lacey has, you know, Vivianites have never been organized, as you know, but Lacey has the biggest network outside of Serial's school.
Lacey Thomas?
Yeah.
And in the what library?
Donstown. It's her, like, office, I guess. It's in the attic. It's like a secret room, you know? But she has, when the library's closed, apparently, again, I've never been there, but she's the one we've been talking to. And trying to get intel on Yeager's guys as they're trying to get intel on us. They don't know we're Vivianites either. Or Dennis isn't really a Vivianite. I'm a Vivianite. Dennis helps. You know, because we're bros. And she elbows his neck as she's standing on his shoulder.
Okay.
And Margaret's like, I'm considering it, as Jasmine's a good saleswoman. And they kind of have a wink.
Okay. And she's just there all the time, She's not going anywhere else.
No, she like runs the library, and then she lives like in an apartment next door. So she's like basically always there.
Okay. Check that out. If,
It's the you'll know when you see her. She's a like a water genzi. She got the job because the library almost burned down, but she like saved it.
okay.
Like one of the only only other genzis in Macadia, she says to you, Pale.
I do like other versions of me. But yeah, I mean, yes.
I like going from King Henry's voice to Jasmine's voice. Just try to make it as small as possible.
Sounds like it's a little painful.
What?
Sounds a little painful.
You know, if they ever had a conversation, it would be very difficult for me, but I'd figure it out.
It's like that one bridge in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes. Yep.
Also, I do
So
have
that's
to
the
pop
deal
off,
for
guys.
the current moment. Yeah, it's very close.
See you guys.
But before we go to
Believe
the
me. Shot Matt.
shot Matt right at his damn desk.
Goddamn CIA!
Or no, the Amazon social media guy who said he was depressed.
Oh,
You've seen that one, right?
They shot him at his goddamn desk.
Yeah. But that's... Yeah, Jasmine essentially tells you they've been trying to get it to where maybe someday, in some capacity, the Vivianites that are embedded in Stone Garden right now could get along with the top men, because they could be really useful helping Thunderscrim and Thunderscrim's invasion of Stone Garden soon.
Mhm.
Or I say soon, like they're gonna get there like 2 months from now is the plan. Leaving Thunderscrim in like a month and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, I love having more people to kill other people with.
Mm-hmm. But cool. What?
What's her name? Keep wanting to call her Zaya Lee. What the hell is her damn name?
Fucking Xenix
Xenix.
with 2 X's.
Is Xenix there with the Trucers?
Oh yeah, she's been kind of leading them, I think. Yeah, they're in Stone. They've kind of built like a little fort in the woods. There's like a whole cave over there. I mean, from what I heard, again, I haven't been there. But I think last I heard there was like 500 or so.
Oh, nice.
Because there's supposed to be about 1,000 total meeting up with you guys around, during the war. There'll be... But the people who got here early are amassing near Stone Mill.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Okay. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to go see. No, wait. No, yeah, that's everything for me as well.
Yeah, just since you guys are friends with King Henry, and then, you've already told a lot of stuff to make Lord Yeagerin want to assassinate you, and he hasn't done it yet. Because I've been, meaning to mention it to Henry, but then, we don't talk much, A, and then B, I'm afraid that, something will happen to Dennis, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's probably political immunity that's keeping us safe.
Right, yeah.
Still can't believe I didn't recognize you were a Vivianite. You hide it well.
Well, I deliberately didn't tell you.
You'd think Vivian would have, let you know that.
No, kind of part of our job to be a spy to not get seen, noticed. She's not just
Yeah, that's true. There'd be no fun in trying to find him then, I guess.
And I mean, when we met you outside of Stone Garden, we didn't know you from Adam, and we just, escaped, a whole deal. And, Pale rescued us from it and everything, but then it was like, man, he's getting in really deep with, a death cult, and it's like, Dennis, this is so dangerous. And Dennis is like, but it worked out, though. And she's like, yeah, I know, but it might have not worked out. And they Jasmine is protective of her poor little awkward nerd.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good place for me to stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys for coming to the game.
Thank you
Thanks for having us.
Hey, it's your GM, Bailey Ford. I would like to thank our regular players, Darian, Matt, and Ian, Hip for our cover art, and Tabletop Audio for our background music. You can find us on Twitter at @Illithids, and thank you especially for listening.